The committed American isolationists were ambitious for peaceful times in the ideology of America First, as Hitler's domination over Europe expanded. As Axis aggression increased, uneasiness regarding the military's preparedness and the threat to democracy in Europe clouded the minds of Americans, leading to the growth of patriotic themes. In 1935, songwriters Fritzie and Charles Habeel composed "We Must Have Peace" to acknowledge the accumulation of international tensions. However, more common among the populace was sheet music of classic patriotic and official military songs, such as the Marines Hymn and the Army Air Corps Song. In 1938, Kate Smith performed a new rendition of "God Bless America" and debuted the song on an Armistice Day radio broadcast.
Hello, everybody. It is my happy privilege to introduce a new song, God Bless America.
The revival of "God Bless America" was initiated by Irving Berlin, a Jewish immigrant who first drafted the anthem while in the Army in 1918. The revision addressed the recognition of the developing Nazi threat and prayed for peace and God's blessing for the country. "God Bless America" was a sensation that instantly generated high levels of nationalism, exemplified through the soaring sales of American flags. The dearest patriotic melodies were soon exchanged for English romantic ballads after the bombing at Pearl Harbor. The lyrics within the ballads communicated separation and longing for happier times, which resonated with American audiences. America's entrance into World War II commenced a war in our nation, a war of music. In 1942, the two most renowned musician unions went on strike against the major four recording companies in America. The strike was originated over a dispute of royalty payments. The union sought royalties to be paid into a union fund for out-of-work musicians. This conflict produced a shortage of music needed for troop morale. However, Lieutenant G. Robert Vincent negotiated a deal between the unions, recording companies, and the U.S. government. He established the agreement that recording companies would record albums for the troops to listen to while at war if the records were not distributed for commercial use. The albums were named V-Disc, the V standing for victory. Top-name artists in the music industry were convinced to record for the albums despite the strike they were involved in, such as Frank Sinatra, Duke Ellington, Ella Fitzgerald, Billie Holiday, Nat King Cole, and Louis Armstrong. The V-Disc were a slice of America straight from the home front that worked to boost the spirits of the soldiers and distribute a joyous atmosphere.
Throughout World War I and World War II, swing, blues, and country music were of the most popular genres. The most popular of all were big bands. Big bands have rich, multi-layered sounds that transcended all other forms of music. Common big band names were Benny Goodman, Glenn Miller, Tommy Dorsey, and Duke Ellington. These artists and more created music for every occasion during the war. Big bands were on top of writing new songs as soon as big events, such as Pearl Harbor, happened. Just a couple of days after the attack, Goodbye Mama, I'm Off to Yokohama was released. There were so many songs written about the war that it seemed that there was a song for everyone affected by it. All military services had their own traditional songs, except the Army Corps. But in 1939, Wild Blue Yonder was released. Wild Blue Yonder almost acted as an anthem for men at war. On the other hand, while men were at war, women were left all by themselves. Many female artists released songs about the struggle of being a woman during the war. Popular songs were They're Either Too Young or Too Old, He Loved Me Until the All Clear Came, and Saturday Night is the Loneliest Night of the Week. These songs provided comfort to women across the nation as their loved ones were overseas fighting in the war. On the contrary, men at war were worried about their wives and girlfriends remaining loyal to them while they were overseas. Songs like Somebody Else Is Taking My Place, Everybody Knew But Me, and most popular of all, Don't Sit Under the Apple Tree with Anyone Else But Me. And of course, when the war ended, there were numerous songs about the homecoming of many loved ones.
Music has unfailingly vocalized the emotions and thoughts we all experience from deep within. Therefore, the poetic lyrics and rhythmic melodies exist as a form of expression. This has always been the nature of music. However, during the harsh times of World War II, music made the unbearable moments bearable by offering something that the soldiers and citizens could hold on to: companionship and hope.
Waiting for the one I adore. I'm waiting in the depot by the railroad track, looking for the choo-choo train.